Miz, you are a returning good football show guest. I feel like that's quite. First, is this the biggest NBC property you've ever been on? I mean, I know you've been on Jimmy Fallon. I know you have a show
I'm on
USA.
WWE Raw every Monday. I'm on Miz and Mrs. on the USA Network. Season 3 coming this June.
There you go.
So yeah, but this is definitely the biggest.
Well, we're happy to have the platform for you. Then
I appreciate it.
And we're happy to have two. Also, we would be remiss if I didn't mention 2-time WWE champion, 8-time Intercontinental champion, 8-time Tag Team champion, the only 2-time Grand Slam champion in the history of the WWE. But yeah, still, this is the biggest NBC.
This is the biggest. This is as big as it gets for me. Big as it gets.
So, Miz, you're a fantasy football fanatic.
Yes.
You proved that when you talked to us in August. First question, how did the fantasy season go?
I didn't win. Didn't win. A lot of injuries this year. A lot of people were out. I couldn't keep up. I dropped Rashad Penny and probably should have kept him. I was very angry about that. But I had Jonathan Taylor and Stafford, and I had the Patriots defense, which, by the way, they really did terrible the last like 2 weeks. When I needed them the most, they failed me. But what can you do? I mean, obviously the Bills had the #1 defense, but that didn't do anything for them against the Kansas City Chiefs. But then the Cincinnati Bengals can beat the Chiefs? Like, are you kidding me?
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that the Cincinnati Bengals are in the Super Bowl and not the Cleveland Browns. I'm from Cleveland, by the way. For all that.
And that's
I was going to ask you about that. So you were a Browns fan. What was it like enduring that season, and what is it like seeing the Bengals and Odell Beckham in the Super Bowl?
The Browns are supposed to be here right now. In the beginning of the year, I said, hey, the Browns are going to the Super Bowl, and nobody laughed at me this time.
No, they didn't.
Everyone was like, oh, we agree. We think they're going to win the AFC North. And how are the Bengals going to do? They'll be in last place. No way they're going to do good. Who knows how Joe Burrow's going to be after his leg injury? Who would have thunk that, here we are talking about the Cincinnati Bengals, and now people are like, so, Ohio, Cincinnati's from Ohio, Cleveland's from. Are you rooting for the Cincinnati Bengals? No,
no, of course.
The AFC North, the only team that should be in the Super Bowl that I will cheer for is the Cleveland Browns. Everybody else, no. So the Los Angeles Rams are going to slaughter the Cincinnati Bengals. One, because that offensive line in the Bengals, just when we first started talking about the Bengals this year, it was like the offensive line isn't good. The offensive line isn't good. And now all of a sudden they're in the Super Bowl and they're going up against Aaron Donald and Von Miller.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Two of the greatest defensive players in NFL history.
But I will tell you this. Joe Burrow is amazing under pressure. I just don't think he's going to have time to pass the ball.
That dude's a superstar. And you made a really interesting point about the Browns. If you had come on our show in the summer of 2020 and said you had thought the Browns were going to go to the Super Bowl, like after you had left, we'd have been like, well, that Miz is a real Browns homer. That's just a bad prediction. And yeah, no one thought that in 2021. How did we get like another Browns season like that? Baker Mayfield, he played really hurt this year. I mean, the guy had a torn rotator cuff. So
on both shoulders.
Yeah, he does deserve some benefit of that out there. But how do you view the Baker Mayfield era going forward for the Browns? Do you think it's time to try something different at quarterback?
This is what I think should happen. He's on his 5th-year option next year. I think the Browns need to either draft or get someone in free agency to give him some competition, because Baker is best when he has a chip on his shoulder. Baker is best when his back is up against the wall, when he is the underdog. That's when I think he really shines through, and I think he needs someone to really kind of motivate him and get him to that level that he can play at, and he needs to be healthy. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, you didn't do your 40-yard dash injured, did you? You probably would have been a horse of a different color,
We're
right?
injured now.
Yeah,
we're both mid-30s and injured
honestly,
now.
when I'm in the ring and I'm wrestling injured, it's a different type of play. It's a different type of mind frame, and sometimes it's just too much to tally.
What's the most serious injury you've ever wrestled through?
MCL. Torn MCL during a match. I could barely, my knee, my leg felt like it was going like this.
Oh God,
that's not pleasant.
Yeah, it wasn't pleasant.
How? Because you're an athlete. How could Baker Mayfield even play through a torn rotator cuff?
I don't know. I really don't.
Should he have played? I think
that's what people say. Should he have played? That just goes to show what kind of person he is. He knows he's the leader of the team and needs to lead this team the best he knows how. And I think Kevin Stefanski is a fantastic coach.
Yes.
There's no doubt, and I don't think anyone would say anything other than that. But he thought Baker should be the guy, not Case Keenum. So I trust in the coaches and in the staff.
So I'm thinking about Baker Mayfield. So you were a born entertainer. But Baker Mayfield is kind of shockingly good in those
Best commercials out there right now.
They are really good.
Is he a better pitchman? Who's a better pitchman, The Miz or Baker Mayfield?
I mean, Baker's doing fantastic in those commercials, but I mean, I don't think anyone can pitch you better than this guy.
No, truly.
I mean, I love NBC Sports. It is fantastic. And these two, second to none. You ever see them run a 40-yard dash? It is something to watch.
Is it ever? Yeah, it's going to be gift till the end of time.
I actually hate how much I love the Baker Mayfield commercials. You know, like I don't understand why.
Are they better than State Farm?
They are
Yes,
actually.
yes.
I think they are too.
Baker is like, he has like very natural comedic timing.
You know what it reminds me of? Like, you watch Burrow now. It's like they just have personalities.
Yes.
And fun, like swagger.
Right.
You know, and I think Baker has that, and I think Joe Burrow has that. And I think next year you're probably going to see Burrow in a bunch of insurance commercials.
Yes, he's every insurance, like even competing insurance, like Geico and Progressive.
Right.
He's just pitching both of them.
The Mahomes-Rodgers commercials are, what is it, State Farm?
State Farm.
State Farm, they feel forced, whereas Baker Mayfield's, it doesn't feel forced at all. I mean, that feels like real acting.
No,
That's
he
really funny.
actually is like doing real acting. Like it's pretty.
I love that you like. Yeah, he's like Daniel Day-Lewis out there, just a method actor.
Well, yeah,
you know, like.
Well, that's why maybe he had a down season. He didn't practice
maybe
football.
he had Scorsese directing him. Maybe that's what it is.
He didn't practice football all summer. He was just getting into character.
It's a question. It's a question we have to ask. Is he focusing too much attention on the commercials?
So who do you guys think is going to win this game?
Well, first you start. You give us.
I'll start with the Rams. The Rams are going to win 42-14. It's just going to be a dominating game. The commercials are going to be the best part, and the halftime show is going to be memorable.
The halftime show is going to be amazing.
It will be.
Denny and I, we're filling a lot of airtime, so we're doing the classic, like we're like waffling every day. But even with the waffling,
I feel like that's all you do is waffle.
Yeah, there's a lot of waffling.
You overanalyze the game so much when you have 2 weeks. But like even amongst all the overanalyzation, I keep coming back to the scene. I don't see how the Rams lose this game.
I don't either.
You're at home, but honestly, are they really ever at home?
Yeah,
like
right.
last week, I saw a sea of red.
Yeah.
In that stands.
So it's weird. So the AFC Championship game, like I kept coming back to the point, I don't see any one area where the Bengals have the advantage on the Chiefs, and they still won the game. But I think Joe Burrow.
I don't understand how they won.
No, I don't.
I still don't get it.
I don't either. But it's almost similar with this Rams game. Even though Joe Burrow is like a superstar already, I think I'd still rather bet on Matthew Stafford in this game. And I just don't see any one area where the Bengals. I mean, the Rams have Jalen Ramsey in the secondary. Like I said, they have Aaron Donald.
I look at
and Von
OBJ,
Miller.
and I know people are talking about all these other players, but I look at OBJ. He's a big-time player and big moment type of player.
Yes.
And I think we're going to see a moment in the Super Bowl this year, maybe even moments with him in it.
I would love a signature Odell Beckham moment because a guy who was just a true superstar, then injuries derailed him so much. Like people kind of like gave up on him. I would love. Yeah,
I mean, you're looking at a Cleveland Browns fan.
How do you feel about OBJ?
It's people are like, "Are you mad?" And it's like I can't be like he wasn't doing anything with the Browns.
Right.
Like if anything, like when he left, when he got injured, they did better. They played better, and I don't know what it was. I don't know if
bizarre.
Quarterback play. I don't know if it was the coaching. I don't know if it was just OBJ didn't like being in Cleveland, or if it was Cleveland, or what it was. But there's something was missing there. Mm-hmm. He went to Los Angeles and found it.
Even the passing game for Cleveland would improve when Beckham was out.
It's so weird, right?
It just made no sense.
It didn't make any sense. Yeah, Mayfield's accuracy, his yards per attempt would improve. It didn't. Yeah, it was really one of the most unexplainable things.
Yeah, it's why the word inexplicable exists.
Yes.
Miz, when you talked to us last summer, by the way, you said that Matthew Stafford was your quarterback for 2021.
And it was a good move by me.
It was. You said you were getting in like the 12th or 13th round. Again, another really good move. Will he be Super Bowl MVP then if you think they're going to win 42-14?
I think there's too many superstars on the Rams team and I honestly think Aaron Donald is very angry that 2 years ago he lost the Super Bowl. I don't think a defensive player like that is going to go into this game and say, hey, I'm not going to do something special. I think there's just too many superstars on this team. You really don't know who's going to be the MVP.
Yeah, it could be a year, too, where like the Rams have been trying to run the ball a lot lately. Matthew Stafford did have a few like minor injuries. Maybe he just won't get the counting stats. to win Super Bowl MVP. But yeah, Aaron Donald, you're right. He's going to have like, is there ever going to be anyone with more ferocity than what Aaron Donald?
Think about that O-line going up against Aaron Donald, like, and what his motivation is right now. Like, he does not want to have 2 lost in your home. Imagine being in your home. Like, this is my state, and he has to come back to this next year. I lost the Super Bowl in my house.
Yeah, right. Right.
Yeah, he would not be able to. He's not the kind of person to be able to live with that.
I don't know how you could stand yourself if you're a Los Angeles Ram if you lose this Super Bowl and have to come home next year.
I know that we only have one home field Super Bowl. That was last year to look back on, but the Bucs did win in a rout. You know, and the crowd was behind them the whole time. It was a
even just
clear
more
advantage.
than like being in the stadium, the fact that they don't have to leave, like they didn't have to get on a plane.
Right.
You know, like they're not doing all this. Like, it's not nearly as crazy for them. As like,
But I feel like Cincinnati's been here for a while now, right?
yeah, I think they got here Tuesday.
Yeah, so it's like it's not like they're here.
We were talking about though. It takes us like we're in our mid-30s. It takes us now I think 2 weeks to adjust to the time zone change.
I'm kind of curious on what the spectacle that is Super Bowl and what a player has to go through, because it's not just a regular game.
No.
This is the Super Bowl. You have to do tons and tons of media, but also you have to figure out, what your other team's going to be doing, thinking about all and your focus. And sometimes your focus can derail. And for a first timer, I mean, Stafford's a first-timer. Burrow's a first-timer. There's a lot of first-timers out there now. Stafford's had a lot more experience in, I would say, maybe not big game plays, but he has more experience in NFL.
He had made the playoffs. He hadn't won a playoff game until this year. You know what a crazy stat is that? So it's Stafford's 13th year. This is the longest it had ever taken a former number 1 overall quarterback to make the Super Bowl, whereas Joe Burrow is only his 2nd year. It's the quickest number 1 overall quarterback has ever made the Super Bowl. So talk about like 2 crazy different career paths. And Joe Burrow, man. Like he's just, if the Bengals win, it's just because of like
quote unquote to Brady.
Yeah, I know.
Yes,
if they're not already.
You're right. Yeah, it will be kind of like the passing of the torch type of deal with Brady.
You all think Brady's coming back?
We just talked about that.
What do you think? We were literally just talking about that.
1,000%. And I would say this: if Brady didn't do so well this season and didn't have that amazing comeback in the playoff game, they lost. But still, his velocity was not. He didn't look slow.
No.
He didn't look. Like
he was as good as he's ever
been. You look at Ben.
Right.
You look at Peyton. Their last years. Their velocity on the ball was a little bit slower than we're used to.
Yeah, even Peyton.
Couldn't even throw it.
No,
exactly. It was like you knew they were ready to go. Put it up. I don't know if Brady wants to get to that level, but I don't even think he's close to that level right now. And I think when you love something so much, it's very hard to go away from it and say bye, even though I can still have it.
Yeah, especially when like you said, for a fact that you still have it.
Yeah, it's like me and WWE right now. Like, am I going to hang it up right now? Like, I love it. I love what I do. I enjoy the audience. I enjoy, having amazing matches. Like, I enjoy going to WrestleMania, in Dallas, like, in a stadium, Jerry World. Are you kidding me? In front of 80, 90, 100,000 people, and literally having the crowd boo me and chant, "You suck." Like, there is nothing that motivates me more, and just hang up my boots and say, yeah, I'm good now. I did everything I needed to do. Like, I've won championships. I won everything there is to win in WWE, but I still have goals and motivations. And I look at Brady and I go, you're not done, dude. There's no way.
Yeah. So he led the league in passing
every
touchdowns,
category,
receiving, passing yards, also completions, everything, all meaningful categories.
I think he could do like a Roger Clemens. Do you remember at the end of Roger Clemens' career where he would sign like mid-season and he would only like start the home games?
Can you imagine if they're like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are like 1-5, they lose their whoever quarterback it is. I don't know, Mike Glennon.
It's going to be Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Okay. So whoever it is, they lose them, and then Brady comes in and just brings them back from the depths.
Yeah, it'd be like the one thing not on his resume too, like coming in to like save the because he's always been
but
there.
I also wonder, is everyone leaving the Buccaneers? Is everyone leaving the Bucs?
Supposedly. Well, the coaching staff was supposed to leave, but then they didn't get hired. So like the whole band is kind of still together on the coaching staff. And Chris Godwin's a free agent. Antonio Brown probably not coming back.
Yeah, he's done.
I don't think he's coming back.
No, and so I'm wondering. I think there's a lot of free agency and a lot of things that could shuffle that you don't get that same team. And is that same team from a year ago going to be okay 2 years from
Yeah,
2 years down
I
the
think
road.
this year they returned all 22 starters.
Yeah.
And next year, not even close to that.
No, Gronk's gone. If Brady's gone.
So, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Miz, by the way, you said you feed off the booze. You've been great today. Would you have been even better if we had our production people just booing you?
I wouldn't mind it. I'd feed off of it and just light into you guys.
Yeah, that would be good.
I would just start crying, I think, at that point.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any final Super Bowl thought? Were you at Cooper Cup this year, by the way?
I wish I would have gotten,
show.
fantasy football. I should have gotten. I think everyone's, literally like, why didn't I get Cooper Cup?
You had Taylor.
I had Robert Woods.
Okay.
I had Robert
Yeah,
Woods,
that's a
and
tough break.
you sit there and you look, and when you were doing fantasy this year, you're looking at it going, all right, do I want Woods or do I want Cup?
A lot of
And
people
they're right there. They're both at the same spot, and it's like I chose Woods.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, I thought Woods was such a good skill, a fit with Matthew Stafford's, and too, he could do the yak, but I thought he would be the guy where Stafford did these easy middle of the field targets.
Right.
But I kind of
We all did, but boy, was I wrong on that one.
We didn't know that Stafford and Cup were eating breakfast together every morning.
By the way, does that make for you're so all you have to do is eat breakfast together, and then you're gonna be.
Look, the media didn't report on it. We didn't know. If we would have known, I would have definitely crossed off Robert Woods.
Denny, if we'd eaten breakfast together, we would have both run under 5 in the 40-yard dash.
That's what it is.
It's true.
Miz, we're about to let you out of here, but we were reminded before the show you were on Darnell Mooney this year. That was a big. Did you end up having Darnell Mooney?
I had Darnell Mooney in all of my leagues. Yes.
Yeah,
I
great
wish he
pick.
would have done. It was good, but I thought it should have been better with that quarterback play. It was just
early on in the season, it was tough.
Yeah, but he came on.
So, anyways, it's been great stuff. What do you got going on? Because I feel like you always have
we have
a dozen things
WrestleMania.
going on.
We're on the road to WrestleMania right now, April 2nd and 3rd at Dallas in Arlington, Texas, at the stadium. Tickets are still available. You can watch it live on Peacock. It's going to be insanity. It's going to be just a spectacle for all audiences. And then I also have Ms. and Mrs., my reality show with my wife and my family, my 2 little daughters, 2.5 and 4 years old, who do not listen to me no matter how hard I try. We have our reality show coming back to USA Network, season 3 in June. So got all that.
Could you get Denny and I a show on USA?
Yeah, it'll be the 40-yard dash, and all you guys will do is just your 40-yard dash.
It comes on at 4 in the morning. Whatever.
Yeah. 3 seasons of us trying to get under 5.
There it is. That's what people want to see.
It's not going to. I would have. By the final question, we change our opinion constantly. Is it still 42-14 Rams? Are you sticking with that for the
1,000%? And I don't even know if they'll even get that 14.
All right.
So thank you so much,
Thanks,
The Miz, for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Awesome stuff.
Great fun as always.
Awesome. And, you'll be back a 3rd time. We're making you a lifer on a good football show.
Game on.
Thank you so much.
Game on, people. I'm going to go suit up for my 40-yard dash.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Miz.